they might want to fly on a day like today. Not a bad flying day, I would think. Some people just don't like to fly at all. Maybe they're afraid downright of getting aboard a plane. But a lot of folks simply can't avoid it during holiday season. It's called aviophobia, and there are ways to manage it. I'm joined by airline captain Tom Bunn. And this is really interesting. You not only know how to fly those planes, but you've helped a lot of people to get over their fear of flying. So what can people do?
Well, probably the easiest thing would be when you get to the airport, ask the person at the gate if they'll let you go on early so you can meet the captain. When you make that personal contact, it makes a big difference for anyone who's on the plane. But there's other things that we can do. There's two things really. Some people are afraid the plane is not going to make it. Some people are afraid that they're going to crash emotionally and have a panic attack. So those are two different things. We have to cover both for some people. And the way that we can control feelings came as a surprise to me. There are ways that people connect with each other that provide a calming effect for the heart and the gut. And there's also a way that people connect that can completely shut the fear system down. So what we do now is we take the things that happen on the flight and link it to one of those things that provides the calming or shuts the fear system down.
So maybe the seatbelt light going on or something?
Yeah, we want to link, for example, the way I discovered this was working with a woman who said that she was going to try linking the moments of flight to nursing a child. I thought this was not going to work. She's going to get on the plane and think I'm never going to see my kid again. But she got perfect results. And this was about the same time in the 90s that oxytocin was discovered. And so what they find is that when a mother is nursing a child, she produces this hormone that shuts the fear system down totally. So that, of course, she can just nurse without getting anxious about having to jump up and clean the house because Aunt Maud's coming over is going to say you're a lousy housekeeper. So she doesn't worry about those things. So if we can do the same thing with the door closing of the plane, link it to nursing the child, or to one of the other things that we found that can stop the fear system from causing panic.
Let's say for a woman who's never had a child, or for a guy who wouldn't know that experience firsthand anyway, what are maybe some techniques that they can use? Same idea, but maybe what's something else they can latch onto?
There's two systems here. One that produces the oxytocin that shuts the fear system down so it can't produce stress hormones. The other is a system that we use socially all the time. Signals we get consciously and unconsciously from another person, that slows the heart rate. A researcher called Stephen Porges calls it the vagal brake. A vagus nerve is activated, slows the heart rate down, goes to the gut, calms the gut down. So in those interpersonal moments when someone's really attuned to you, that happens. So we look for one of those moments. We can link that also to the moments that happen on the flight. Put the two together. As the flight unfolds, you get the calming effect.
And in the break, you were telling me about maybe even like the thought of looking into somebody's eyes, or even into a pet's eyes. We were talking about the dog who was here earlier.
Exactly, because Stephen Porges found when he was doing some research, to his surprise, that the heart rate was changing on the people he was studying just by being with other people. And so when he started zeroing in on this, he came up with what he calls a social engagement system. That he believes that all our social engagements, well, let's say you meet a stranger, you're going to get some stress hormones. So what are you going to do? Go into fight or flight? Run away or fight the person? Well, what happens is if you're getting really good signals from the other person, it calms you down. So we're tapping into that system that's genetically encoded into us.
Two things I want to get to real quickly. We've got about a minute left. Let's say, and these days you can actually go online when you're checking in and so forth and actually look at the schematic of the plane. Where's the best place to sit for somebody who may be just on the window, on the aisle, and what part of the plane can you pick the best seat?
What you want to avoid is the tail. The tail moves around more than any other part of the plane. If you can get up toward the wing or far out of the wing, you get a better ride. Now, as to whether you should be on an aisle seat or a window seat, it depends on whether you want to try to keep everything off your mind or not. If you can get a window seat, you can put your face really close to the window and you can see almost the horizon ahead of you. You can see what the plane's doing. If you like to try to keep an idea of what's happening with the plane, you can do that. But if you're trying to keep it all out of your mind, you're better off with an aisle seat and don't look out the window.
Gotcha. I'm a window guy myself, but I just like seeing what we're flying over. The other thing is you have this book here that people can look at or get a copy of, Soar. Okay, and just real quickly, because we have to wrap up, but how can people get this?
Well, it's available online or at local bookstores, and this includes everything I've learned working with people for about 30 years if somebody wants to have a New Year's resolution that they can really keep, we can fix their problems with flying. They can open up the whole world to themselves.
Fantastic. All right. So you are a pilot and also a social worker.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Great to meet
Thank
you. Thank
Jeff.
you for
Thank
coming
you.
in. Hope to see you again sometime. All right. And we are going to head to break now, but we'll be right back, and we'll be checking out movies coming out in just a few minutes. Or actually, no, we're not. Excuse me. We'll be right back anyway. People in the news. That's what we got coming up.